Salutations, friends and strangers of the interwebs. Welcome back to the channel. Stevie Wonder Woman. I am said Stevie. Today, I am going to be giving my final thoughts and impressions and overall review of this here. This is the Orion Knives Solaris. Comes in this nice slide open box. Pretty cool logo coming from Orion Knives, and I guess kind of the theme of the knife. Push the button. So as we get into this, it does come with a pretty snazzy sticker, and then it comes with the knife here itself. So this came to me from the Apex Pass Around group. Shout out to the Apex Pass Around group that is ran by David from Blade Banters, who also happens to be the person behind the Solaris. So this is his first go around with a knife. I believe that this is the second generation, or Gen 2, I believe is what this is being referred to as. Previously, I think that this was a Kickstarter on the V1 that later became available, and there's a couple little improvements. I don't know enough about the V1 to know all the improvements or tweaks that were done, so I'm really just going to be speaking to the V2 in this configuration that I got. But I have spent a fair amount of time with this knife over the last couple weeks, and I gotta say, it's great. So this model right here is the blacked out knife configuration with blue backspacer, blue pivot collars, and a black wash blade. Very nice blade profile on that. You can see the Orion Knives logo on the show side. And then on the lock side, you see, if I can get it to focus, the steel marking, which happens to be 14C28N. So, very good, user-friendly, working edge-friendly steel on that. I think the black wash comes out really well on this. I'm not typically a fan of black wash blades. Not a knock on this, that's just a preference on my end. This comes in a couple of different configurations. You can get the black wash, or you can get a stone wash blade. And I think when it's time for me to get one, I'll probably go with a stone wash blade. But you can get a couple different variants with different colored pivot collars and backspacers. But then you can also purchase additional backspacers and pivot collars to kind of customize it to your own. We are looking at a G10 scales on there, and a G10 backspacer. I believe, though, that the pocket clip on this guy here is titanium, though. You are looking at a 3.15 inch blade on there, so nothing ridiculously oversized, but it's not too small either. I think that's kind of the perfect blade shape for me. Now, you do get a little bit more handle on this. I think the handle length is coming in right around 4 3/4. But as you can see, even when I'm back here, I do get a full 4. Now, before this is a button lock. Before I get into that, the way the flipper tab works with the design of the knife, so you already see here on the way the front of the handles are designed. Well, when you deploy it with the flipper, you now get this very usable finger choil that really allows you to lock this into your hand. Now, there's no jimping up here on the spine of the knife to really lock in your thumb, but I don't think it needs it. It works without it. But you're getting this nice, very generous choil without taking anything away from your blade shape. or your cutting edge, I should say. And I think that that's great. I'm a big fan of finger choils. However, sometimes choils can get in the way when you're actually putting hard tasks in front of you with a knife. But yeah, I think overall the ergonomics are great. Everything is rounded out, kind of chamfered down. The edges are knocked down on everything. I think that it feels good in hand. It's a little blocky, but I don't say that in a bad way. Um, you feel it in your hand for sure, but uh, it's very comfortable. I don't feel the pocket clip whatsoever. I don't feel it. I guess it's there touching my the palm of my hand, but you don't feel it. In this configuration or in this configuration, handling the knife, I wouldn't say there's a single hot spot. So when it comes to ergonomics on this, I think it's great. Um, this is a flipper tab and a thumb stud deploy, so you can obviously finger or use the traditional flipper, which is done very well. Again, no jumping on that, but I think it's just the perfect length. You are a little bit above the center of the pivot there, so you get some nice leverage on that, and the detent is very snappy on that. Now, when it comes to the thumb studs, I can absolutely use the thumb stud to deploy it. That is no problem. And then if you want a middle finger flick this, you can. Absolutely zero issues with any of the deployment methods. The detent is good on this. I don't have any play whatsoever. I'm tapping the flipper. You don't see that blade moving at all, so you don't have any. I have to actually start pulling on it to feel it want to start deploying, but I would say that the detent is dialed in really well for this. Again, very snappy on the deploy on any of the methods. Flipper tab, thumb studs, middle finger flick. So the action on it is great. Now, one thing I haven't pointed out too much yet, although, push the button. Obviously, this is a button lock, so you don't have, there's no liner lock or frame lock there to worry about. No button stick whatsoever. You push that button and it falls shut. It's a completely fall shut action on that. And I think that the this has been passed around. I know I'm probably the fourth or fifth person in the group to handle it. So this has definitely got a lot of action. Now, maybe out of the box, there could be a little bit of grit like button locks are known to do. But as this one has come to me, there is absolutely no button stick, no nothing. Um, it's perfect. Now, we don't take apart the knives in the group. That's one thing that we don't do. So I have to assume that this is just a standard button lock construction with a little bit of, a little spring. And there's probably a notch around the blade that allows you to fit everything together. Then a little spring that holds that into place. But I'd say as far as the action goes, it's perfect. Here it is against the Ferrum Forge ProTech released Ferrum Forge design, released by Drop, produced by ProTech Mordax, and then we also have the ProTech Malibu. Both are button lock flippers as well. No thumb studs. A little bit higher end on the scale. This thing is coming in under $100, where this is like 200. This is like 250. So you're getting aluminum scales, 20 CV on both of these from ProTech, whereas you're getting G10 and 14C, 28N. They're really only comparable in the fact that they're a button lock. They're much different knives, but I would say as far as button lock goes, this is on par with the action of these ProTechs. People are going to say, what? ProTech is, obviously a very high-end knife. Um, the Orion might not be considered a high-end knife, but I would say that this, coming in at, I believe, $85 for a basic entry for one of these, completely justifiable to pick one of these up over one of these two, I'd say. Now, the Mordax is absolutely one of my favorite knives. So saying that is a big jump for me. But this is a very good knife. Now, back to the button lock real quick. I don't have this problem now on either of my Malibu or my Mordax, but these did come with a fair amount of button lock stick or button stick on these. It took some time for those to smooth out and for that to go away. So maybe that was the case again on the Solaris, but again, as it's come to me, I think that the action is perfect. So you can see, comparison-wise, it is much more along the lines of the Mordax in terms of handle thickness and blade length. Well, I guess blade length is closer to the Malibu, actually. I think that this is a full 3.25 inch, and this is 3.5, so you're kind of right in between it, but if we take the Malibu away for a second, you're left with two knives that are very similar in size and handle length, more importantly. You actually get a little bit more handle on the Solaris over the Mordax. But I bring those out because those, again, are very expensive offerings from ProTech. I think this, for people that are looking for a good button lock, so I've never bothered with any of the Civivi button locks. I know that those have been hit and miss lately. I don't even remember the models of them, but I've heard quite a few people complain about them. I don't know. I haven't handled them. But with this guy coming in at $85, I think that this is an extremely good value. Now, also on the Solaris website, which will be linked in the description here, you also have the, which I believe is something I would do if and when I go to order this knife. You can also replace these regular G10 scales with some raindrop carbon fiber, which is like an additional $35. So, you're looking at, if you upgrade the scales, you're looking at a knife, what's that, $120 to get upgraded carbon fiber scales and, again, the configuration of the blade or pivot collar and backspacers that you want. I think that that's a phenomenal deal. I think that that is, yes, $120 is also a okay, so maybe you're fine with the scale as is. $85 even. $85 to $120 for is the spectrum of this. I think that you are getting a lot of value for this. I think, again, just being the button lock, having the different ways to deploy is absolutely a great feature to have in this knife. Very comfortable in hand. You're getting that good choil. You are getting a good working steel, 14C28N. I know it's got really good edge retention. Now, this is definitely, I think, in need of sharpening, but it's still pretty slicey. I have, like I said, I have carried this a fair amount, and I should have recorded footage of myself doing it, but I processed some cardboard with this, and I also carved a stick while I was out on a little hike. Whoop, did it just cut in and out? I think it just came back. While on a little bit of a hike, I was carving a stick, and it's still, after doing that, again, is it the most razor sharp thing? No. But even after doing all that, and I don't know the tasks that this has been put through from the other reviewers, it's still holding a really good edge. So I don't have a lot of experience with 14C28N. There was something else that I recently got. It's not. I'm not recalling what knife also had that, but I don't have any problems with the steel on this. It's better than D2, that's for sure. D2 is completely played out, in my opinion. Fine steel, I guess. I'm not complaining about D2, but I'd rather have something like 14C28N. Again, I don't know that there's a lot more to. I guess I will point out the how this does ride in pocket. So here I have my Steel Capital uh, back pocket knife hank roll. You can see, this simulating. It's pretty damn deep carry, and it goes in and out of pocket just fine. I have fifth pocket carried this because again I wear 511 and Vertex jeans that have a deeper fifth pocket, so I can get away with carrying a knife this size as a fifth pocket. I've also carried it in the primary back pocket position as well, and it's very comfortable. This clip is very functional. It's very basic clip. You don't see too much of a it doesn't have that spoon design. It's got just enough of a, let's see, will that focus on there? Just enough of the ramp on the underside there that when, again, putting this into pockets, it catches and slides in no problem. And I literally have, this has been a knife that I really wanted to try out and see if I liked it or not because I want to buy one. And I've carried this, I'm not joking, more than any other knife over the last 2 weeks since I got it. And in and out of pocket multiple times in a day. And I haven't had a single problem with carrying it. Now, again, I don't carry when my knife is in a dedicated pocket. There's nothing else in that pocket. So, how is it carrying in your front pocket like some people do with other stuff in your pants, or other things, other items in your pocket? That I can't speak to. It is a thicker profile of a knife for sure. So, I can see if it's carrying in your front pocket and you got your wallet or your keys or something in there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pocket dominator, but it's definitely. I mean, here it is against a Demco 8020.5. You got a very similar profile there. Here it is, profile wise, up against a Vox F5.5. So it's not much wider in profile than that, and definitely not much wider in profile than the 8020.5. Two very popular EDC carry knives. I don't have a PM2 or a Para 3 to compare it to. That's something I think a very popular knife to compare it to. I do have a Rat 1 to compare it here to, profile wise. So it is a little bit thicker than a Rat 1. But you can see there about the same in length. But again, this is going to be a lot deeper carry than your Rat number 1 because of the way the pocket clip is on that. I think, again, there's a great story behind the designer, David. Naming the knife after his son's favorite constellation in Orion. Again, just a nice dude to interact with. I don't know him really well. I've had a little bit of interaction with him, but he's been extremely cool every time I've talked to him. Again, shout out to him and all the hard work that he does keeping the Apex pass around group organized. And yeah, I just think this is a knife that I have already recommended to, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. I know at least 2 of them have gone through and purchased one, and they got good things to say about it as well. This is a knife that I'm going to keep recommending. And I guess the real sign is I think I'm going to pick one of these up for myself. I just think that it's a really good, purposeful tool. I think that this is a good pocket knife. Um, again, I don't think it matters if it's where it's at in on the budget side of things. There's great. Oh, it also looks, and I'm just now noticing this. This actually does have a reversible pocket clip on here. So if you wanted to left side carry this, you could easily switch that pocket clip around. It is still only tip up configuration, but sorry, that's just something that little detail that I noticed there. But again, whether you're into high end knives or you're into the lower end knives, this is a good knife regardless of where it fits within that budget. Um, and sometimes there's not a lot of knives like that. It's like, it's too high end to be a budget, it's too low end to be a premium knife. This is perfectly in the middle. And that's a compliment to this knife. I think it's going to be out of some people's price range, but I think that this is a very, very good, affordable option for a lot of people. Again, the fact you can also, you can get the different colored backspacers and pivot collars there, black wash blade or stone wash blade, and then there's all sorts of cool things that Orion Knives has to offer on the website. So again, I will link that there, but some really cool travel and storage pouches. I know Q-Ball just ordered a bunch of those. Knife maintenance kits. He sells 20 weight lubricant and thread blocker. Again, different scale options, different pivot collars. Another cool thing, and I'm trying to find it on here. He has an Orion Knives wooden knife kit. So that's something fun to do with your kids. If it's literally just in a little tin. Comes with wooden pieces to put together. That's a working folding wooden knife at that point. Again, that's just a little fun project, maybe to introduce your little ones into getting them more comfortable with knives. However, it could be just a cool gift to a fellow knife brother or sister as well. Just a nice little project. Again, a lot of stuff that is on OrionKnives.com, which will be in the description. I think I kind of covered everything. We talked about the ergonomics, we talked about the blade and the blade steel, we talked about the action with the thumb studs and the flipper, how it carries. If you want to talk about, again, the fidgetability of this, if that's all you're into, if you just want a fidget knife, this is a fidget dream. Thumb, middle finger, flipper, button lock only. If you just want to fidget with something while you're driving, and also have a really good knife, this is it. Again, I'm very pleasantly surprised by this knife. I had already heard some good things about it, but once I got it in hand, I realized that this thing was a lot, really punching up in its price range and for what it's capable of doing. I don't have a single bad thing to say about this knife. I think that if you are looking for a nice button lock option, this is something that you should definitely check out. It's got the Stevie Wonder Woman absolutely two thumbs up approval, and I have no problem recommending this knife to anybody. And like I said, I already have. So, if you are interested in getting one of your own, like I said, everything will be linked in the description. If you've already got one, let me know what you think about it. Or if you do get one and you find this video later on and you're just doing some research, let me know what your experience is with it. Because mine, like I said, has been extremely positive. So Thank you, David, for allowing me to check this out. And I will follow up and see who I'm going to be sending this one to next so they can check it out. And yeah, in the meantime, I think I am going to order myself one to have. Appreciate everyone watching. And that's all I got for you guys. Until the next one, I will talk to you guys later. Deuces. Whoops.